students who are not able. So the class is being recorded means these classes will be useful to those students who are not be able to attend the classes due to their busy schedules. As I told you that these classes are all free classes, and weekly 3 days the classes will be conducted. Friday, Saturday, Sunday sharply at 8 p.m. So I pledged that these classes will be conducted up to my last breath. As I told you that I have spent 30 years of service in the army, and after that I am not doing any job, and myself I pledged to give service to the students, especially who are residing in the villages, because our India has so many villages, rural India, so many students, they are residing in the villages and they don't have much facilities like some students, even though they don't have any laptop. So nowadays, computer programming, uh, they are feeling that they must have the laptop, but no need of laptop. You can do the code practicing in the mobile. That nowadays these mobiles are very powerful processors, and they have very speed RAMs like 8 GB, 16 GB RAMs, and high processors, high speeds clock. Speed means clock, huh? Okay, it's 2.4 gigahertz, 2.8 gigahertz, like that. So these mobiles, they are not, they are equal to the laptops. Okay, we can write efficient coding in the mobile. So my concept is that I want to extend these classes. I want to reach corner to corner of India. So many apps, very Android based apps, they are nowadays they are. So I will explain that apps are what. See here, simply you come here. So today I'm going to take the class over. So first of all, we need to do like this. We need to select. Okay, come down here. Here, this is, as I told you, that this is Visual Studio Code. This is the IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. So to write, suppose that if you want to write any code in any language, it may be Java, C, C++, C Sharp, JavaScript, whatever. So many languages are there. R programming, Go language is there, Kotlin. So many languages are there. So every language, we need to first of all download that language, and after that we need to download suitable IDE, that is called Integrated Development Environment, which will support to us to write the code, edit the code. So either compilation, otherwise interpretation, depend upon the programming language like C, C++, they are Java, they are compiler based programs, but Python interpreter based. After that, compilation or interpretation, code to be executed. That is very important. Code execution means once the code written in whatever the, so see, this is what the total code, this is called source code. So that's why this file is called source file, .java file. This source code, that is to be in our human understandable language. We can understand this language because it is written in somewhat English letters, some special characters, and some quotation marks, this and that. Okay. After that, it is to be converted into machine language. That is called object code. Now, the object code has many names: machine language, binary language, 0, 1, binary digits, bits, so many. So the machine computer processor, it can understand only the 0, 1. Other than any numbers, the microprocessor cannot be understand. Okay, because as the evolution of the microprocessor started with the 4-bit microprocessor, that is, I think, 4004, 40, like that. After that, 8-bit processors, 8080, 8088. After that, 16-bit processors, 80286, 386, 480, 486. After that, Intel Pentium, like that, evolution of the processors. Now 64-bit processors. This is the era of 64-bit processors. So 64-bit means the processor is capable to execute the 8-byte instructions. 1 byte is equal to 8-bit. 1 byte means 8-bit. 8 into 8 means 64-bit. So that's why I'm telling that Nowadays, the mobiles equipped with the processors, they are so powerful processors and they have the very much speed of 8 GB, 16 GB RAMs. Okay, that's why these mobile Android-based processor mobiles, they are very suitable to write the coding. So I simply want to explain the apps which will be used to write the code. Okay, we come here. First of all, I'm going to write the one project, new project, new window. This is the no window. Okay, here simply you select, go for show and run commands. Click on that, create Java project. This is the Visual Studio Code. If you are using JetBrains IntelliJ IDEA, so I will show the IDE how it looks. Okay, here show and run commands. After that, once you click on the create Java project, so it shows for no build tools. No, click on no build tools. It goes for your computer. There you find a folder. You need to look for a folder where you want to store your Java project. It is delaying. Okay, it is delaying. So in your computer, I have only one drive, C drive. This is my folder, VS Code Java. Because I am clearly mentioning here, this is my Java projects. They are stored in VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Select this location and here put a name. Okay, put a name. Simply today we are going to understand URL class of the net package of the Java. So I want to give the same URL. Okay, URL one, whatever. Okay, so you enter this one. So it opens a file and it is taking some more time today. Okay, no issue. It is taking. So that moment, one file will be opened. Okay, that is the source default file. You click on here. Here, this is the default file. .java file. You need to every time whenever you open a project, every time this default file will be displayed in front of you. So you need to change its name as per your project. As per your project, you need to change its name, rename. Here, as I told you that my today's class is URL class. So URL, okay, one. Now you enter, click on this. Now this is your source file, url1.java. I told you many times, your class name must be equal to, whenever one project is created, this is source file of Java. So whenever it is loaded, two statements by default, they will come in front of you. One is that one class and one main method. Every class must be part of a method, one class. Every method, here the main method, that will be part of a class. The Java compiler looks for that. After that, whatever the instructions written in the main method, they will be executed. For example, one statement, default statement kept here. So if you have nothing we have written in the code here, whenever you want to run this, you click on this run button, then it will execute this line of statement. Okay, you will get this string output on the screen. Let us see. But you will not get the output because I will explain why. Because no, this is your Java file and this is your class name. Always your class name must be equal to your file name. That's why it will give error. But after that, I will change for that. Let me check that whether it will be executed or not. First of all, we need to check back that. Okay, so okay, class is being recorded. Okay, now so build file. Do you want to continue yourself? But it will give the error as I told you that. Let me check that what type of error it is giving. After that, I will change this class name equal to your file name. Okay, URL1. First of all, let me check that what is the error here. This is the error it has given. What is this error? So error, it is stating that unresolved compilation problem. Okay, this is the error in second line. Okay, URL1 dot Java. This is the source file. So within this second line, error is there. You need to come here, second line. Here, second line. Where is that? So here, as I told you that you need to, it is indicating that it is helping. Here is the error underlining red mark. So this is called, you need to change this as per your source file name. What is your source URL1? So now that red marks gone away. The red mark gone away. Okay. Now, okay. Now if I run this compilation done, after that you will get this output here and try to check back that whether it will be executed or not. So where is that? Okay. Successfully we are getting this much of string on the display. Hello world. So this is the story, but now we need to understand what I told you. These are two default statements whenever your file is loaded. So one class and one main method. The class name can be changed, but the main method cannot be changed. Main method name. So now within the main method, whether you want to keep this line of statement, it is up to you, because that is the default statement. So I want to remove this one. There is no need. Now this is the structure here. You need to write the code. Whenever you write the code, okay, the compiler, Java compiler looks for the main method. After that, whatever the statements will be written here, they will be executed. So these are the basic ideas. Already I have discussed in the many classes. So that is very important. Okay. So I told you that for the Android mobiles, if you want to write coding in the Android mobile, you need to download from Google Play Store. One is that JV Drive. JV, simply you write JV Drive. This is for your Java. Okay. And for Python, PyDroid 3. PyDroid 3, this is the app for Python. By that, you can write very efficient coding. Initial days, this is I kept comment section. Initial, whenever I started to teach the programming classes, up to now, 1,000 pages of coding I have written in the both languages, and I have sent that coding to many students. Whether they are attending my classes or not, doesn't matter. If whenever I get any number of any student, I will surely I have send that coding. So now I am conducting the classes in the mobile, because no, in the now I am conducting this computer. So because why I switch it to computer, in the mobile, that voice is not being recorded. Zoom is I am conducting the classes in the Zoom. No? In the Zoom class, why that is video recording can't be done. So that's why I switched it to computer, because these classes to be kept somewhere else as a repository, because these programming classes to be conducted my lifelong. So repeated classes can't be done. Okay, because the lengthy topics are there, we need to cover a lot of topics. So once class being conducted, that is to be kept somewhere. I felt that it's better to keep in somewhere like YouTube as a repository. Even though my demise of my life, the classes will be useful to the students. So that's I am feeling like that. Okay. So you can get the apps, download these apps from Google Play Store, and you can write the coding. If you have any doubt and if you are getting any difficulty, you get my number 9110398650, and you can make a call to me, and I will be ready to support you anytime. Okay, doesn't matter. I am blessed. I hope that all of you make your career well, and you make your career in your life. Okay. I hope that all of you do well wherever you are studying. It doesn't matter. Okay. Now come to this power topic. Today we will try to understand this URL class of URL class of what? This URL class in first period, we will try to understand URL class. In second period, we will try to understand socket programming in Java, that is connectionless socket programming. Because in the previous sessions, we tried to understand socket programming of connection oriented, means it is based on TCP protocol. Okay, in second period, we will try to understand UDP protocol based socket programming. In first period, I will try to clear this URL class. Okay, so URL class means this is stands for URL stands for this URL means uniform resource locator. Okay, so what do you mean by uniform resource locator? First of all, this is the acronym. Acronym and stands for both are equal. Okay, uniform resource locator. So what do you mean by it locates the resources in the web, internet? Resource, this URL class, it is part of what? For that, we need to import a class, that is import Java main package, Java dot. Within this, I told you that once you put the dot operator, these are all the packages, so many packages. They are part of your Java main package. These are the all packages. I told you that the package is nothing but they are the folders. Otherwise, you will call them as directories. The file folder and directory, they may have a lot of files. In the same manner here, package will holding a lot of classes. Okay, once you import any package, they will have the classes, and that classes has the methods, and that methods will be accessed either by the object, otherwise the class name. So if any method is being accessed by the object, that is called object method. Otherwise, if you are accessing that method with the class name, they are called as the class method. Okay. So now here I need of one package, that is called this package, .NET package. Okay. After that, if you know the proper class, how many, these are all classes of that. These are all the classes of what? That .NET package. If you want to, proper classes for our URL, today's class URL and the first period, this is the class here. If you know that class name, you put URL. Otherwise, if you don't know, if you want to import all these classes, you put star here after the termination. Okay. Otherwise, simply as I told you that if you put dot operator, this .NET package, whatever the classes it has, all that classes, so many classes, every class has so many methods. In the second period, we will try to understand that user datagram socket, user datagram packet. This is, where is that? User datagram socket. This will be used in second period. Next, datagram packet. These two classes will be used for connectionless socket programming in second period. So now I need only URL class. So I want to, otherwise you put simply star. Star means all the classes. So now I want to discuss URL class. Okay, now come down here. Now here, first of all, let me explain. URL class means uniform resource locator. So it points for what? It points to resources. What do you mean by resource? Resource means any information. Resource means what? Data. A website, web page. Within the website, web pages are there. They are holding the information. So resources means data. Data in the form of website, web pages. That web pages, they are the part of website. Okay. So uniform resource locator means it locates the resources throughout the where it locates where in it points to resource in www. www means what? www means what? World Wide Net. WAN, wide area network. Wide area, that is called actually wide area network, otherwise public network. Public network means this network can be accessed publicly throughout the universe. Anybody can access whomever have the networking. Okay, public network. So this URL will look for the resources in www World Wide Web. It is what public network. Okay, now come down here. So now it is okay. It is acronym for acronym and stands for uniform. Stands for means acronym. You simply write as acronym. Acronym means stands for. Now, okay, I have explained what is the URL class. Now, after that, I want to go forward. So, what is the structure? URL structure is what? So, let us see one structure. I want to simply write here HTTPS colon. Okay, star, 2 forward slashes like this. This is one URL address. So, here within this URL address, try to understand. This is for only comment section because my compiler will not execute all these lines, whatever kept in front of 2 forward slashes. 2 forward slashes will be used for single line comments. So, okay, means my compiler, Java compiler, will not execute these lines which are started with the 2 forward slashes. 2 forward slashes will be used for single line comments. If you want to keep all these lines, simply you multiple comments, forward slash star at the starting, at the end of the star and forward slash. So now these total 4 lines kept under multi-line comments, forward slash star at starting, end of star and forward slash. So these lines will be escaped by Java compiler, and Java compiler looks only the main method. After that lines, whatever we will write, that will be executed. Okay. So now here, try to understand URL. This is the URL, uniform resource address. So here we need to understand what is this. This is a protocol. Here, this is what I'm going to explain everything here. First of all, that is what protocol. That is called a protocol. Next is what this is called host name, otherwise server name. Host name are called server address, server name, anything can. Sometimes it is called DNS address. DNS address. Okay. DNS means domain name service. Somewhere domain names service. Okay. Domain name service address, somewhere you will get it. You can read host name address up to here, host name address, server name address, and DNS address, domain name service address. So why? Because it is called domain name address, because in networking, you will study about the so many servers. One is that I will explain that some servers are like web server, which is that server holds websites. Okay. And that is called DHCP server. DHCP server that holds, that converts the, it provides dynamic host configuration, abbreviation for that, dynamic host configuration protocol server. Okay, it provides the IP addresses. Dynamically, it alerts the dynamically means it automatically allocates what alerts IP addresses. So you need not to assign the IP address. So it automatically, this once your server, DHCP server is configured, it provides the dynamically alerts IP addresses. Web server hosts the websites. Web server hosts websites. Okay. Next is what? One more server, DNS server. We need to, as a software engineer, we need to understand all these things, because it will come under your programming also. Whomever the software engineer, he knows the basic structure of the computers, how the computer functions, what is the RAM, ROM internally, what is the address bus and data bus. So that will be you. I think you will study in computer architecture. It is a separate topic in your programming, computer science engineering and programming. Apart from the programming, so computers organization, computer architecture, database management, computer networks. Okay, these topics you need to study. I hope that you will study all of the topics, then you will be a good programmer. Otherwise, don't be expect that you surely will get a job once you complete your that is what computer science engineering with the less CGPA like 6.5, even though less than 6. Okay, that moment maybe you will get a job, but that may be 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 like that. But surely if you are really dedicated like me, passionate towards the programming, your parents are dreaming about you, and they are thinking about you, about your future and career, because they are the parents, they love you so much. Nowadays the youngsters I know, as a technical engineer, I spent 30 years in the army. I know now how the youngsters, they are diverting themselves towards the bad evils. That is the main drawback of our India, actually, because these youngsters, they are the backbone of our India. I am really proudly say that my great India has so many youngsters. We have 140 crores of population throughout the India, but many of the investors, they are being misguided, otherwise mistargeted by the and somebody anti-social elements, bad evils, like what you know. So you need to be aware of that, and you are the splendor of India, and you are the backbone of India. You need to be so aware. You need to be so passionate and intended towards your target. Okay, you need to be like a soldier, and you need to be filled with so many ethics and principles and protocols and rules and regulations. That otherwise, what is the meaning of this life? See me, take a inspiration about me. Understand this fellow who has spent 30 years in the army and retired himself as a technical engineer. After that, he doesn't want to do any job, and he's keeping his service. He's keeping his selfless efforts towards the promote the computer science, especially programming. And apart from that, he wants to improve the program communication skills like English speaking skills. So like, see me that, okay, you need to think like that. Always you need to be like a soldier, understand? And don't waste your life. Soldier, you think that how the soldiers, they are struggling, or they're keeping their efforts, whether how much of time, whether they are getting to sleep, whether properly getting food, how they are protecting the borders. So if they are not there, they are the son, and they are also, they have their family and mother and sisters. So they are not giving much time to their family, and they are giving, they are themselves, they are be deployed at the borders. So they are giving their sacrification. So if they are giving our sacrification, we need to do our proper justice with our life, understand? So all these things you need to understand that. Okay, okay, now come to the point. So here, this is what, as I told you, that this is your as I told you, the server name and host name. Sometimes it is called DNS address. This address will be resolved to IP address by DNS server. That is called DNS server. DNS. This is the role of DNS server. What it does, a DNS server, it resolves that domain name addresses, that is called domain names, the domain name address into IP address, internet protocol address, IP address. Okay, so try to understand what is domain name. Actually, this .com, .org, .net, these are called what, your domain names. Okay, so the total name is called domain name address. Okay, so DNS server role is that it resolves domain name address into IP addresses. So if there is any domain name address, normally if there is any DNS server, only DHCP server is there. It allocates the IP addresses, and there is no any DNS server. But I have only web server. So means I have created a web site, and that website has somewhat pages. That some website has somewhat pages. Okay, so that moment, if there is no any DNS server, that moment this type of address will not be used. Here only we will use the protocol. That is what IP address of, suppose my server 192.168.2.5. This is my IP address of server. Server means web server. Okay. So one website created, and that where is that website is posted in my computer. So my computer is functioning as a server. So that moment that has this IP address. So that moment no need of this DNS server, because my DNS name is only IP address. No need of resolution from domain name address into IP address. Here only IP address is there. So that moment no need of DNS server. Okay. Here, if I don't have any DHCP server, dynamic host configuration protocol server, dynamic host configuration protocol server, that moment I need to provide the IP address manually. Okay. So if the DHCP server is there, it is not your headache to take the IP address. This DHCP server will provide the IP address dynamically. If there is no any DHCP server, you alert the IP address manually. So that moment, if I am alerting the manual IP address, no any DHCP server, no need of DNS server, only web server I need, because that website, so that website has support website. Today website I have created that, like what somewhat I want to show a Canva app is here in my so how the website is created. Come here, suppose Canva. Where is that Canva app? This is what I will show, that how website will be created, and that is to be hosted. But that moment you need to purchase the host domain. Okay, somewhat money you need to provide to them, Canva. Otherwise, Hostinger. Nowadays, Hostinger, they are providing the host, and your website will be hosted, and the domain name also will be provided by the Hostinger. I think 4 years they are taking somewhat 7,000, like they are charging. Okay, so I will show the website here, but it will take time. So let me write the code first. Let me write the code first. Okay, and then we will try to do that. Okay. Okay, now here. Okay, now come. So as I told you that word, here, suppose address is like that. There is no any IP address, but your address HTTPS for 2 forward slashes. That is after that www.java point, whatever you take. Suppose you can take from google.com, like what come this much of address. After that, colon somewhat port number here provided here, suppose, and then 1 forward slash here. Next, Java tutorial slash hyphen, not slash, tutorial. Okay. This is one address, suppose URL address. So what is the meaning of this? First of all, as a programmer, we need to understand that this is the protocol. As I told you that it is first protocol. Okay. Next is what? From here to here, up to this domain name .com, .org, .edu, education, .net, .in India, IN for India, like what so up to this is called host name, otherwise server name. Okay. Sometimes called DNS name. Okay. After that, this is called port name, port number. Okay, we need to write here port number. Okay. Port number. Okay, now next is what? This is called file name. This is called file name. Okay. No. So somewhat I try to give what are the elements, okay, of a address. Okay. Now, after that, let us try to directly we come to write a somewhat programming. Okay. Now I want to come here. Okay, now it is okay. Now I want to write the programming here. So programming, so within this main method, come here, you write try and catch blocks. Okay. And the Saturday session, I told you that what is the use of try. First, let me write the code. After that, I will explain that. You create the object for the URL class. Okay. URL class. After that, this is the syntax. I told you that this IDE, that is VS Code, it will give a lot of help to us. What is the syntax? So this is the class name and object name. Object name can be anything. My name, your name, XYZ is equal to new keyword compulsory. Again, class name. Okay. So here the remove this one, no need. I told you that this is called constructor. This is called constructor. Constructor for what? The class name. The constructor has many role. I have created a class over the constructor. I kept in, you can get from the YouTube, you go there and you can get back from there. Okay. Because if I want to brief about what is your constructor, we will be diverted from the topic. We will not be able to cover the topic. Okay. So now what is the syntax to write the class name? I have imported this class URL, and that is the part of your net sub package, and the this sub package net is part of your Java main package. So for this URL class, I have created the object. Why? I told you that this class has so many methods. If I want to access that methods, either I need to create the object, otherwise class name. These are the object methods. That's why I need to create the object. So here within this URL, we will do what? We need to provide the URL address. That is very important. That address where I have this is this address. Anything you take from your whenever you are searching for, you copy from there and you paste here within that. Okay. Now this is to be kept as a string. String always will be in what? In double quotation or single quotation marks. In Java, always the string will be kept in double quotation marks. In Python, string can be in double quotation, single, it doesn't matter. So now what happened? So once try block always will be associated with the catch block. That is very important. Catch block, this exception E, that is very compulsory. After that, open brace, close brace. Okay, this is okay. Means try block must be associated with the catch block. I will explain why try and catch blocks. Okay. After that, now here within now you try to take somewhat print statement, system dot out println. Within this, you call the objects. Okay, URL dot. So after that, all the methods of that class, URL class, these are the methods: toString equals, get authority, get continent, get file. Take this method, get file. Okay. Method means always must be suffixed with the brackets. Okay. So now you copy this one and you copy and you paste. You